Leija and Azumah Nelson. And you can see that they are identical in size. There's an 8-year age advantage that belongs to Leija, and Nelson is given a tiny edge of an inch or so in reach. Punched at numbers, Larry Merchant, and the story of jabs in the first couple of fights.
Well, what we see in these jabs is that Leija increased the number of jabs in his fight. And if you recall, Nelson has been complaining that something was in his eyes during that second fight. I think it was simply Leija's left hand. And here we take a look at Nelson's jabs. Conversely, he only landed 9 jabs per round in the second fight, despite the fact that he opened a nasty gash over Leija's eye in that fight. He couldn't take advantage of it.
Rules of the bout with cult figure Harold Letterman.
The Azumah Nelson Jesse James Leija fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you can be saved by the bell in the 12th and final round only. Jim.
And now James Leija, for whom Jesse incidentally is not officially part of his name. It was his father's given name and simply has become attached to his name as part of his boxing identity. Prepares to go into the ring for the 3rd time against Azumah Nelson.
Harold, what do you know about the 2 foreign officials who are at ringside for this fight, the judges?
Larry, Angel Luis Guzman has been judging 26 years. I don't think there's really any great objection to him. As far as Richie Davies from Great Britain, it's a tricky situation because, number 1, this is his first world title fight, and number 2, in Great Britain, he's a referee. Most referees don't want to judge, and also in Great Britain, the referees, they don't, you know, there are no judges in Great Britain, so therefore he looks at the fight with a completely different perspective, and this may be scaring the Leija people.
The record for Jesse James Leija, and Roy Jones referred to those 2 tough losses, one of them to Gabriel Ruelas a couple of years ago, and then a loss earlier this year to Oscar De La Hoya in Madison Square Garden. Actually, it was in December of 1995. He moved up to 135 to fight De La Hoya, and according to the Leija people, that one virtually doesn't count. They didn't expect to have a chance to win the fight going in, really.
Yeah, but as a result of that fight, for agreeing to take that fight, Jim, he got an agreement to fight again for the title, and that's why he's here tonight.
Stunning 5th round KO over Gabe Ruelas, and Ruelas' first appearance after his unfortunate experience with Jimmy Garcia. Ruelas, of course, the winner in the fight, as the result of which Garcia eventually died.
You know, Nelson has been saying some of the most awful things about Leija in this fight, and it's so uncharacteristic of him to be saying he's going to put Leija into a coma by the 1st or 2nd round. He's going to make him retire. He's going to knock him out. And again, this goes back to what I said earlier, Jim, that I think he thinks that he has to try to overpower Leija.
Or he could be planting a seed in Leija's mind and may intend to do exactly the opposite and come out and box him as a cutie. He's certainly capable of that. The overall record for Nelson, the first of those losses, incidentally, was back in 1979 in Madison Square Garden against the late, great Salvador Sanchez. It was a 15th round TKO for Sanchez just 3 weeks before Salvador died in his automobile accident.
A fight that I may have seen about 150 times, of course.
And it's a great one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Truly, indeed, one of the greatest fights of all time.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, this Bud's for you, present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission and the World Boxing Council. WBC President Jose Sullivan. Supervisor for the WBC at ringside is Roy Van Patten. Your Nevada Commission members and officials, including Executive Director Mark Ratner, are the same, except for the judges and referee. The 3 judges assigned, scoring the bout on a 10-point must system, will be Angel Luis Guzman, Jerry Roth, and Richie Davies. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Richard Steele. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Boulder Station Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trimmed with silver and weighing in at 130 pounds. His professional record is 30 victories with 2 defeats and 2 draws. He has scored 14 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the pride of San Antonio, Texas, the challenger, former super featherweight champion of the world, Jesse James Leija. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red and gold with green trim and weighing also 130 pounds. He brings a professional record into the ring of 38 victories with only 3 defeats and 2 draws. He has captured 3 world title belts in his pro career. Ladies and gentlemen, from Ghana, Africa, presenting the WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Professor, Azumah Nelson.
Take care of business, baby. Go.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Jim, there's a jewelry convention in town. I read where some $4 or $6 billion worth of jewels are laying around here, but there's no greater jewel than this man, Nelson, in boxing. You just wonder how long he can continue to sparkle the way he has. An amazing specimen.
Career marked by ups and downs. Stretched out over such a long period of time. He once fought on a card where on the undercard, Tim Witherspoon was fighting Sam Scaff for the right to move to a title bout with Tony Tubbs. It's been that long for the Professor.
And he stayed just as strong and just as smart and has nowhere hardly.
And he goes to the body with the left and over the top with the right, and true to his word, Azumah Nelson is going to try to take James Leija out early.
Jesse James is very calm through all this, though, and that's what it takes. That shows you the heart of a champion.
Well, and also the question is, if he doesn't stop him or hurt him here, how long can he sustain that kind of a fight?
At age 37, that is a big question. Let's also note that Azumah does have respect for Jesse James' punching power because Jesse did knock Azumah down once.
Second round of their second fight. Leija had Azumah Nelson down. Leija scored consistently with uppercuts against Azumah. In order to do that, he has to slip inside of Azumah's jab.
What Leija is also doing is he's punching Azumah's left arm to weaken that left arm early.
He landed 4 shots to the biceps.
Right hand over the top for Nelson. You wonder if Nelson decided to adopt the quick knockout strategy after seeing how easily De La Hoya handled Leija in Madison Square Garden.
Maybe he did, but he has to realize that he is not as a big of person as De La Hoya is size-wise. And I don't truly think he has the shock or the power in his punches that De La Hoya has now. Maybe once in his younger age, but not now.
No way. Double left hand by Leija, one to the body and one to the chin. Azumah comes back with a combination and lands a right hand over the top.
I don't know if Azumah truly can hurt Leija. Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah. He sure can.
Yeah, he's hurt badly now. And that's it. I don't think he will ever recover from this. This fight is all over. This fight is all over.
Leija up at 9, and the round ends, so Jesse will get a minute to try to clear his head.
Can I ask a question? Did you hear the 10-second slap?
What's that?
The 10-second slap. Was that accurate? Was that an accurate round?
Well, I saw him lift the knee between 9 and 10, and I was pretty sure he got it up.
No, I'm talking about...
That was a shot.
to me. How are you?
Okay.
You know who I am?
Another water. Put that one on.
All right, yeah. Put that one in the mouth.
That was a shot.
You all right? No, you drop your hand. Drop your hand. Stay long. Stay long.
You gotta keep fighting.
Let's take a look at that punch. A big right hand as Leija has his hand down low, as big and perfect a right hand as Nelson could land.
Leija was trying to throw a right uppercut, and that's the worst time in the world to get hit with any type of a punch.
You still think Leija can't recover from that, Roy?
Well, I think he can now since he had a round. It's a possibility. I'm not sure if he will. But in that round, he was truly through.
So you're saying you didn't hear the slap to indicate that only 10 seconds remained in the round?
That's what I was saying.
Well, that was during the count.
Exactly. Because they were counting.
Yeah, so that's why you didn't hear it.
Great body shot. Azumah can't get careless here because Leija is still strong.
Think Azumah's going to be thinking right hand again?
I'm sure he is. He wants to see Leija back on the canvas.
Overhand right. This one falls a little short. Nelson almost certainly with a 10-8 round in round number 1, so an early scoring deficit for Leija.
Leija must be in wonderful condition to have survived quite as well as he has. You would not know he had been knocked down at this point.
Azumah is really going after him here.
He said show up early, and he meant every word of it. James got in a right hand counter, but this is mostly all Azumah Nelson midway through round 2.
But James is fighting a smart fight here. He is beating Azumah's body. This will weaken Azumah if this fight goes within 8 or 10 rounds.
So Leija should be looking to pick his spots to the body.
Yes, he should, because this takes the power out of a pound puncher.
Hard left hand lands for Leija as Azumah backs away.
I don't recall seeing Nelson come out this fast before. It's not his normal style.
But this is an after dark fight, and this is our natural style.
And as you said earlier, Roy, that after having gone 24 rounds with each other, they might as well come out and start fast.
That's the great thing about fighting a guy 2 or 3 times. Good body shot by Azumah.
Azumah really committing to every right hand. Fighting entirely flat-footed, thinking power all the way.
That's the way he always did it.
We're going to fight all night. I say, that's what I want. Punch with power.
Breath. It's all right. One more time. Nice and smooth. Make the boy miss and then you can counter, okay? Make him think of the right hand, you come back with the left. You make him think of the left, and you come back with whatever you want to. And you make him do whatever you want to. You want to throw the right hand, lower your leg, and come back with it. Beautiful. Very nice.
Okay. Don't let your hands go down. Keep your hands up there and back.
Don't get too close. Don't get too close. Okay.
And punch hard.
Outside punch.
Okay, you did a good round. We win this round, but we got to win big. Okay? But be very careful.
We find the target, and then we release the power. You got it, baby. One love.
Among various bad signs early for Leija, he has not been able to get off with his jab at all, landing only 10 of 57 in the first 2 rounds. Nelson, on the other hand, 33 connects in 71 jabs thrown in the first 2 rounds. So Nelson is setting the tempo with the jab and following up with big right hands.
I think Nelson has developed a new respect for Leija, and this is why he's landing his jab, and this is why Leija is not landing a jab.
And I think if Leija is going to get back in the fight, Roy, he'll do it with the left hook.
And the body punching. Azumah has so much confidence in his ability to flip a punch. He sits there and is just so calmly the way he flips Leija's big punches.
Leija just doesn't look as quick as he did in the first couple of fights.
Well, because those losses take that type of stuff out of you. That was the effect that I was speaking of earlier when I said after a fighter loses a couple of fights, he's not the same. But he is punching hard.
And maybe more telling than the loss to De La Hoya was the 12-round war that he lost to Gabriel Ellis. He took a lot of heavy shots from Gabriel.
Yeah, and Gabriel did knock him down.
It looks like Nelson now seems to have gone back to wanting to be a counterpuncher, and I think Leija now is dictating again because Nelson is allowing him to.
Which is just what I was about to say.
Leija landing 2 left hooks in recent sequences.
And that's a big mistake by Nelson to let Leija push the issue. Because if Leija gets the chance to push the issue, he will outpoint Nelson.
Azumah cracking Leija with a hard overhand right. Leija looking for more opportunities to go to the body with the left hook. Azumah takes the initiative again and lands another right hand. And a big left.
That's the best fight for Azumah, to push the issue. If he waits, Leija will knock him out.
That's a good round, okay? That's what you do. Keep jabbing.
Chopping you right. Chopping you right. She's dropping. He's going down.
Okay? That was a good round.
Hold the bucket, somebody. I want to look at him. Hold the bucket.
Spirit of the games. It's coming up Tuesday night. Let's have another look at the promotion.
An hour for Return to the Spirit of the Games. Premieres Tuesday night at 10:15 on HBO.
Round 4, and Azumah Nelson had decreed that it wouldn't last more than 3. So Leija has weathered the early storm. Now can he find a way to turn the fight to his tactical advantage?
I think he can. In this fight, I must say, the old man is starting to show a few signs of getting old, because he wanted to come out and push the issue, but he just can't hold up that pace like he wants to.
But he did score an early knockdown against Leija and seemed to establish his way of fighting in the first few rounds, so you would expect Nelson to have an early lead in points as he pounds away at Leija against the ropes again.
Hopefully.
Straight right hand lands for Leija. Sneaking in left hooks to the body. Starting to connect with the jab. Things getting a little bit better as times go on for James Leija.
Straight jab to the body. You don't often see that, Roy.
Nah, you don't see that. Jesse James Leija is making a big mistake by sitting here and letting Azumah just dictate the fight. Azumah is the older of the two. He should make the older man work.
Well, when you've made your reputation over the years by getting off and winning exchanges, winning fights in which you were willing to trade shots like James Leija, sooner or later you reach the end of the diving board, and you don't necessarily have to be 35 years of age for it to happen.
You got a point there.
He's had a lot of tough rounds against tough fighters, including 24 rounds with Azumah.
That was a great right hand by Leija, though.
And Azumah answers with an overhand right of his own.
Azumah is throwing a good left uppercut because Leija is stepping his hook.
So the more Leija steps into the left hook, the more Azumah will come back with the left-hand uppercut?
Yeah, he fools him like he's going to throw the left uppercut to make him duck straight down. I mean, like he's going to throw the left hook to make him duck straight down, and he throws the left uppercut instead. So Leija runs right into it.
There's a good left hook by Leija, and he lands a right hand behind it. Best flurry of the bout so far for James Leija.
And this is what he should be doing. I think the old fighter will wear down.
That's what you gotta do. Water. Open up. Open up. Water.
I just want to make sure I don't give him no trouble.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Well, Jim, 39-36, 3 rounds to 1, Azumah Nelson. I really didn't think Jesse James Leija was going to get up at the end of the first round, because to me, he looked like he was gone. But in any case, I thought that the second and third round, he was really fighting a lot on instinct. And the fourth round, he seemed to come alive. He just started to back up Nelson. He started to get busy. He started to punch, and he won the fourth round. 3-1, Azumah Nelson.
I have it 2 rounds to 1 and 1 even for Leija. The points are even. It's an even fight because of the knockdown in the first round, a 2-point round for Nelson. I thought that Leija won the last 2 rounds.
Round 5 of a scheduled 12 rounds. Azumah Nelson's super featherweight title at stake in his third battle with Jesse James Leija. Just missing with the left hook, but he lands the straight right again. And the body punches are setting all this up.
And that's what I said he should have been doing the whole time. This way you make the older fighter work. And you take a lot out of him by hitting him to his body. Oh, good body shot.
Azumah goes to the low blow, and Leija comes back with a low blow of his own.
Actually, I don't think Azumah's was a low blow.
Leija getting some free shots as Azumah starts to slow down on punch output.
I think Azumah is trying to wear Leija down by letting him throw a lot of punches. This seems to be his game plan right now. But the thing is, taking punches takes just as much out of you as throwing them does.
I always thought it took more out of you, Roy.
Oh, a cut. A cut is developed right there from that left hook over the eye of Leija. A bad cut.
Huge cut over the right eye, and you're exactly right, Roy. It came from that left hook. And Azumah wants to go in for the kill.
And Leija was hurt by a left body shot there, too.
Plenty of time to finish in round 5. Nelson thinking knockout for the second time in the bout.
And this is a dog fight.
You know, Leija has been cut on many occasions and survived, including the last time these two fought.
There's that left uppercut that I told you about.
Step up.
But this is a nasty cut, the blood flowing into Leija's eyes.
Nelson has to be very careful. Leija is still a big, dangerous puncher.
Leija considering whether to start unloading the kitchen against Azumah, because this cut may not give him many more chances in the bout.
And I must admit that Nelson seems to be the stronger of the two right now.
You're doing it right. But you cannot stay in front of him and do nothing. You gotta throw punches, James. You was doing good.
Just like Morales, he was about to go. You almost had him going now. He's wearing out, James. All right.
The cut man in Leija's corner is Joe Souza. If you saw Arturo Gatti versus Wilson Rodriguez on the second installment of Boxing After Dark, and if you saw it, you'll never forget it, Gatti's cut man, who rescued his man's chances to win that fight, was Joe Souza, this same guy.
This cut is very similar over the other eye as that occurred in the second fight. There is the punch that opened his eyes. On 4 of 5 occasions, Leija has been cut and has had plastic surgery, so that if you saw him, you wouldn't really know that he had had all of those cuts.
But he said to us yesterday, I cut too easily. I just hope that steel will give me a chance to stay in there if it happens.
And there he got hit with a double left hook right on the cut at the beginning of the round.
Azumah Nelson, the old professor, taking James Leija to school now as round 6 begins.
There was also 2 great body shots by the veteran.
The old professor thinks he has lifetime tenure.
The one thing he has to be, oh, good hook. Oh, there he is, he's out. Leija is hurt badly.
Leija not holding on, electing to punch back instead.
Good body shot by the professor. These body shots are really taking a toll on Leija.
Steele pulls him apart.
He wants to stop the fight because he knows Leija is beginning to show wear and tear. He better punch back or Steele will stop this fight. The body shots have weakened Leija so much until his punches don't have the same power on him.
But he's still got the guts to throw as blood envelops his right eye.
He has the heart of a champion. He landed a great body shot there. But I just don't know if he can come back from this.
Azumah slowing down for the moment. After having thoroughly dominated the first 60 seconds of this round, he came out of his corner and threw those 2 left hooks in a hurry to reopen the cut over Leija's eye. And since then, he's been landing more or less at will.
Jim, I must say that I think the 2 losses are the main factor here. Because Leija just doesn't have the same confidence that he had before.
Yeah, but I also have to give Nelson credit.
Yes.
Richard Steele's seen enough. And Azumah Nelson has the technical knockout victory he so badly wanted in his revenge bout against James Leija.
The diamond keeps sparkling. He is an amazing character, Azumah Nelson. I don't recall a top fighter in the lower weight divisions sustaining this kind of quality these many years.
Ever.
And Richard Steele's been ripped in the past for what people thought were quick stoppages, but I'm not sure you can criticize this one, Roy.
No, I think this was excellent because the guy was showing wear and tear. Azumah clearly wore this guy down with body punches. He made Leija punch, he took all of it, he blocked it, and then he wore Leija's body down.
And in this last round, prior to the stoppage, Leija simply not ready or willing to fight back enough to prevent Richard Steele from calling a halt. And we'll take another look at the sequence prior to the stoppage. Azumah landing lefts and rights, and then setting up the target and coming in with a combination, and Richard Steele says enough.
The fans definitely and obviously want to see death, but it's not going to happen here.
Richard Steele, because of a very, very severe laceration to the right eye of Jesse James Leija, had to call a halt to the bout. We'll have the official time for you in just a moment.
This great warrior has just been worn down by a true old veteran.
No complaint from Leija when the fight was stopped. You heard the crowd booing, but Jesse James himself walked to his corner and accepted Steele's stoppage with total equanimity. You can see that Nelson landed almost exactly twice as many punches as Leija in the bout, was landing at a 51% connect percentage, and this is thorough dominance on Azumah Nelson's part. Incidentally, the 3 judges had it scored 48-46, 48-46, 49-46, all in favor of Azumah Nelson. So the old professor was headed toward a possible decision victory if he wasn't able to get the stoppage, and he did. And now Michael Buffer with more of the particulars.
Once again, the bout was called a halt to because of a very severe laceration suffered to the right eye of Jesse James Leija. He was unable to continue. Referee stops the bout at 158, 158 of round number 6. The winner, and still WBC super featherweight champion of the world, the Professor, Azumah Nelson.
And a final look at the scene in the ring. Azumah Nelson at age 37, after 17 years as a professional fighter, has the 39th victory of his illustrious career, and Larry Merchant is with him.
Azumah, congratulations to you. You did what you said you would do. Did you think, having watched Leija lose to De La Hoya and to Ruelas, that you could overpower him?
First of all, I'd like to thank my God for making this possible. My God, let me know that, with him all things are possible. I love my God, and my God is able. I'd like to thank all my church members, ARS members. I say I love you. I love Mr. Saki, my friends. Hey, Babu, wherever you are, come home. I love you. I miss you, baby. Babaron, I'd like to give thanks to Babaron for giving me this opportunity to prove myself once again. And then, now I'm ready.
Okay, now let me repeat the question. Did you think, having watched Leija get overpowered by Ruelas and by De La Hoya, that was how you had to fight him?
No, not that. You know, I told you before the fight that, nobody can beat me twice. You know, this is the history that I'm making. And nobody can beat me twice.
But you were more aggressive than we have seen you earlier in the fight. Why was that?
I mean, that's what I told you. Look, I wanted to take him out in the first round, you see, but I decided not to take him out in the first round. You understand? So I wanted to punish him for a while and prove people think I'm old and I can't go the distance, you know. And I decided, I changed my mind that I wanted to knock him out in the 11th round or 12th round, so that people will know that the stamina that I have is unquestionable.
Well, let's take a look at the first round knockdown, if we can get it up here on the monitor, and you tell us what you saw in the first round.
Look at this right here. And look at this round. Nobody can take it like that. But, you know, he's a very strong guy. I said before that if he go 2 rounds, he will go to coma. But I decided no, I have to punish him. I have to let him know that, I mean, I'm the best in the world.
All right, as the best in the world, what's next? Are you going to go back to your homeland for another year and come back and beat somebody else? And who would that somebody else should be?
I don't know. I wish I can fight tomorrow or next week. But all depend on my new promoters now, for Baron and the company. I mean, I'm waiting for them. Whatever they say, if they tell me to go on tomorrow, hey, man, I'll take anybody. I don't care who I fight.
Thank you very much, Azumah Nelson. And here, let's talk to Jesse James Leija. Jesse, you were in against a different fighter tonight, even though he looked familiar to you. Or were you just not the same fighter you had been when you fought him before?
No, I'm the same fighter. I just think it was his night. I fought hard, and he fought hard, and it was just his night. The other 2 times were my night, you know.
You said beforehand that you thought he would come out hard. Were you surprised? Why couldn't you hold him off?
Well, no, it's not that I couldn't hold him off. I just got caught with a good punch, and it could happen to anybody in boxing. And he's a good fighter, and I'm a good fighter. I just happened to get caught tonight. It was his night, not my night, and he won.
You came back after the knockdown and did pretty well for 2 or 3 rounds. Had you felt no effects from that punch?
Really, I didn't feel too much from that punch. To tell you the truth, when you get down, you really don't know if you were down or not. I guess I got up right away. I wasn't hurt. It just, you know, one of them things. I have to go back and look at the tape and see where I went wrong.
He opened your eye pretty badly there. It's a nasty gash that looks just like the one you had over your left eye in the last fight. Do you think that referee Steele properly ended it because of that and because of the punishment you were taking?
Well, I don't know. I have to go back and look at the tape. I cut real easily, and that's always been my problem in boxing. I cut too easy, and that's been my downfall. But to no excuse, today was his night. And he was a better fighter tonight. That's plain and simple.
And for your fans in San Antonio and elsewhere, you have no quarrel with the stoppage of the fight?
I'm not too sure. I have to go back and look at the tape and observe it and see what happened. But hey, I mean, this is boxing. You know, it's a weird sport. It's a fun sport, but it has its ups and downs. And I have to go back home and look at the tape, and maybe he'll give me a rematch like I gave him a rematch.
Thank you very much, Jesse James. And now back to Jim.